Hello, my name is Agathis and I'm online, and today I am trying Sunless Skies, a game that is in early access development from Fail Better Games. We have stopped at Magdalene's, a place where people come to be cured, somehow, of their illnesses and weaknesses. These are afflictions which you get from being in the ether, that you get from just being in space. At the end of the last episode, I was about to receive treatment myself in this place, and I was given the choice between choosing to meet either my mother, sort of, or the Queen, really. Upon reloading the game, that option had disappeared. And we had a different one. We have a one here to help treat a random man who was in the hospital. So let's go with that. How do you plan to deal with him? A treatment chamber has been emptied for you, should you wish to adopt a guise from his past. Alternately, he is stood right there. He does not seem to have noticed you, his eyes boring through the doors of the treatment room. So this was someone who was waiting in the lobby, I think. And this game is still in early access, it's still in development, so yeah, there are going to be the odd bug here and there. But the point is, we can try to cure this young man. We can approach him directly, because disguises have caused the poor sod enough trouble. We could disguise myself. I could disguise myself as his mother. She drove them apart once. An attendant will help me with the wig and makeup. Another with the voice. I do need help with the voices. Or I could disguise myself as his lover. The attendant normally on duty is more than happy to assist you. Anything as long as it gets rid of him. Well, let's take the direct approach and see what happens. The lachrymose guest's eyes widen as you approach. Has there been a problem? You invite him to sit. Stiff brandies are ordered. You recount your own share of heartbreak and tragedies, how you found yourself here, and how you make clear that despite all that, you will be leaving. He nods slowly, and after a quick shake of your hand, walks away towards the station. He does not look back. Boom! Done! An unwelcome truth. We should return to the amenable host. That was nice. The amenable host, we are welcome in his sight. An attendant escorts you through the dazzling violet corridors. The host's red door is always open. The attendant leaves you just as the clock begins to chime. The amenable host is reclining on a couch of crushed velvet, a goblet of sparkling wine in his long fingers. Somewhere in the tower above him, the great clock ticks away. His atrium is always open to guests. He regularly indulges all manner of complaints, friendly criticism and suggestions. Today he has a headache. We will let the amenable host know that the lachrymose guest is gone. For better or worse, he will not be returning to Magdalene's. The amenable host smiles beatifically. Of course, my staff will be pleased. It is a risk in our trade, when our clients can no longer separate identity and illusion. He breathes out, his sigh echoing around the atrium like a loosed bird. It is a trap that any of us could fall into. Here, take this. He fishes around beneath his couch for one of his goblets. It'll fetch a pretty price. Take it with my thanks. Do visit again. We have done the amenable host a significant favour, and gained 100 sovereigns. That will definitely be useful. Is there anything else that we can do? Are there any other guests, perhaps, that we want to see? An attendant shakes her head as a merchant in a threadbare suit waves at her. She walks away, face set in a slight frown. The trader flushes, aware he has breached the social covenant of Magdalene's. Maybe there's something going on there between them. Who knows? Can we get an appointment now? No, we still can't get an appointment. We've got a condition. We're nervous. We've got a moment of inspiration. I'm not sure how you get that. And I need an unlicensed chart, and I don't know how I'm supposed to get that. Yeah, okay. I don't need a treatment for loneliness. I don't need any other treatment. Never mind. So, the Needful Emporium will sell us fuel and supplies. And if we had anything to sell, can we sell it here? Yes, we could sell stained glass and unseasoned ales here if we wanted to. I think before we go any further, we should have a little recap of our situation and our journal. So, the fastidious inspector, we took her to Port Prosper. She's happy, and that adventure is now closed. We have a settler. They want to go to Lustrum. I don't think we've found Lustrum yet. Have we? We have not. I don't think. Maybe Lustrum is the next station that we'll find. The retiring filmmaker. We are escorting her back to New Winchester. So I think she is on board, so to speak. It doesn't say, but I'm guessing that's the case. The Albert clock. We need bronzewood from Port Avon or Traitor's Wood, and glass from Titania or New Winchester. The only one of which I think we've seen is New Winchester. We haven't seen Port... Which is... You can't... No, the lettering on here is quite difficult to see. We haven't found Port Avon yet, I guess. Scrolling doesn't work quite well, yes, but that'll be fixed eventually, I'm sure. You can't zoom in and out with the mouse wheel either. So we need to find Port Avon or Titania, or Traitor's Wood. We haven't seen any of those yet. We have a commission from the parsimonious chairman to hunt tackety ships, and we get a reward for that. And we need to visit Port Avon to find the reclusive carpenter. So Port Avon, probably high on our list now. And I'm not sure what we wanted for Carillion. And there's nothing particular that needs to be done here. We've just done them a favour. So I think it's time to move onwards, really. We will stop in here. We'll buy 2 fuel and 2 supplies. That's a lot of our gold spent. We don't have much left, to be honest. But with that done, onwards. We will head west and see what we can find next. Perkins Copse we found. We could start setting out the scouts. Oh, no, we've got some boulders down here. Oh, yep, there we go. Send out the scouts. Let's get out the bat. Your bat is happy to have found nothing of interest. Okay, we're probably a bit too close. We need to go a lot further before we can find something. More rocks. Rocks are fun. I think all of these rocks are just generic scenery right now. This looks semi-generic. I think I've seen this before though. This is a standard piece of scenic rock, this pathway. Let's send out the scouts again. Still nothing. Okay. So, do we need to be looking on the inner circle or the outer circle, I wonder? We just don't know. I'm going to try the outer circle, I think. Oh, what's that? It's a ship. Is it a good ship or a bad ship? We don't have any hull left. We've got 7 out of 30 hull. I don't think we're going to want to try any combat right now. Okay. A random event. A visitation. An innocuous request. Some time ago, you had to remove a bristle-moustached corpse from the front of your engine. Now the corpse is back. It is knocking politely on the exterior hatch and asking if it can come in. Not for long, and you understand. Just to warm up. It's chilly out. Permit it. It is indeed chilly out. Absolutely not. Strict standards must be maintained by all crew. Breathing, for one. Sure, come on in. Come on in. You open the hatch and the corpse thanks you as it enters. Its knees crackle and pop as it takes a seat in the passage. As it warms its icicle fingers on a steam pipe, it makes deliberate small talk. It complains about the weather. It compliments your locomotive. After a few minutes, it stands, thanks you for your kindness, and shakes your hand. How cold it still is. An icy gust blows in as it opens the exterior hatch and steps out. Brrr. Stoker, more fuel to the engines! We've lost the fuel, and that's it. Cool little encounter. Onwards! Where's our bat? That event came halfway through the bat scouts, and it cancelled the bat scouting. Bug report. Ooh, I see. Aha! The bat returns and sulks in its roost. You bribe it with beetles until it admits spotting something of interest. Something of interest, dead ahead, no less. Chuff, chuff, chuff. Okay, some white writing on a white background that we can't read. Fost filigrees the windows, the crew shivers. A pipe spits in the cold. Splits in the cold. Bug report. White text on white background, can't be read. Salome's Fall. Ooh, now this looks like the top of a mountain. Kind of. Is this a dock? It looks like it should be a dock. It's not. Oh, that's like a mine. I'm guessing this is supposed to be a mountain. It's kind of hard to tell. It still looks like it's floating in the ether. This is definitely the station, though. Escovitch Peak, Lustrum. Alrighty. Form 2. Lustrum, here we are. The frantic, hustling heart of Lustrum, crammed with prospectors, peddlers, and purveyors of essential and occasionally legal services. Most business takes place here, unless you're a dreamer seeking your fortune on the claim fields. What was once a pleasant small town on the mother of mountains now runs on increasingly desperate dreams of riches. So some sort of mining town. Now, I'm not sure if this is just a really high mountain, and it's that high that we've reached it at space level, or it's a floating mountain. It's not quite clear. The graphics around the edges makes it look like a floating mountain, but I may be wrong. Let's see. Lustrum. Yes. What was once a pleasant small time on the mother of mountains now runs on increasingly desperate dreams of riches. Fools sell their fortunes for the chance to mine years from the mountain's frozen sides. Smaller mines sell pickaxes, supplies, and the promise of a warm bed at the end of a bitter day's work. Drop off a settler. You're here! Yes, let's do that. They have arrived at their destination. Whether or not they still wish to be here is another matter entirely. Encourage your passenger to disembark. That's right. Get off. Come on. Move along. Move along. This is where she wanted to go. She gives you a smile as weak as the tea she's been brewing aboard your engine before making a quick departure. A small purse is all she's left behind in her cabin. What, you mean we didn't get the money before we told her to leave? Come on. So, delivering a settler. At the round table in New Winchester, you can inspire the next group of settlers. So once we've done one, we can get more. Sounds good. Your settler quality is gone, and we gained 50 sovereigns. Onwards. What else is happening in Lustrum? We can explore Lustrum, write a port report, visit the Hanged Man pub, visit Murgatroyd's Golden Tea Shop, visit Sweet Jane's counting house, seek a claim of our own, visit the Windward Company, or attempt to climb the mountain with a 12% chance of success. Well, the claim fields, is that a shop? The mountain slopes are veined with the unmined hours of the enduring Empress hungers for. They are dug from the stone's geodes, minutes growing within them like salt. Most geodes are the size of a walnut, but legend says Old Tom, one of the first prospectors, excavated a whole century the size of a whale. The claim fields. The mother of mountains stretches on almost forever, from its snowy peaks down through seemingly endless strata of lethal nebular gas. So we could search for a claim, or once again, attempt to climb the mountain. Or we can buy supplies here by the look of it. Fuel, unseasoned hours supplies, or we could sell munitions and supplies. Okay. So let's explore Lustrum. This port started as an enclave of well-off Londoners hoping to absorb the youthful energy of the mountain. Then the prospectors arrived. Your boots crunched through the snow, clean and bright, lacking the lingering stagnance of London's ammonious suffused lacquer. The townspeople nod politely to you, a distinguished visitor, but avert their eyes from the grizzled prospectors and get-rich-quick merchants who have taken over their slice of civilization on the mountain. They wait impatiently for a day when the mountain has nothing more to offer and the uncouth invaders finally leave, hoping that something still remains when all of value has been finally plundered. Okay, let's write our port report. Ours are the new gold in Albion and the Reach. While Lustrum's fortunes remain, it is of interest to many. So much for the quiet retirement village that used to be here. The rush of prospectors has ripped the civility from the place as efficiently as the geodes from the mountainside. The scars that remain are no less vivid. Fewer and fewer prospectors return with geodes of ours, and the cost of processing them off-site grows every day. Still, for now, Lustrum thrives and offers the promise of riches for any lucky or industrious miner willing to come and risk everything in the snow and the mud. We have a port report for Lustrum. Let's visit the Hanged Man pub then. An embossed plaque under their hastily painted sign proclaims the Miners' Pub as the former Empress Grace guest house. Its once fine mahogany tables and chairs are now little but sawdust on the floor and a lingering smell in the fireplace. Looks like the miners and prospectors have just taken it over and it's gone to ruin. And I was right. Irritable miners jockey for space by insufficient fireplaces. They pay for the overpriced drinks with their dwindling coins or low-quality hours. A few fortunates bear the mark of miner success, the baby soft hands that come from regularly handling unseasoned hours. That's kind of cool. If you're handling new life, new hours, then time goes backwards. Your hands get softer. That's kind of cool. Buy a round of drinks for the miners. Prospectors are not trusting people. Every new arrival is more competition, but while the drinks last, you're welcome to sit at their table. 126... Oh yeah, we need 10 sovereigns for that. Our money is precious. Approach the figure in the corner. Or return to the street. And we can't quite speak to a weary prospector just yet. Let's approach the figure in the corner. It sits wrapped in a dusty, disintegrating shroud, nursing a flagon that never goes to where its lips presumably are. The cloaked figure beckons to you. "Valuables for sale!" It wheezes, its voice throaty and high-pitched. "Exchange for buried time, yes, please." It offers unusual relics in exchange, or a few rusted coins that would barely buy the transport to anywhere else. Talk to Mr. Pennies. The miners try to ignore it, but it must have some reason to bother setting up its stall here. So we can talk to him, we can return to the miners, we can exchange hours for an artifact, or exchange any hours that we might have for money. "Everything ends," the figure wheezes. "Even law. For everything a reckoning. Need help, need hours. Postpone reckoning. Shadows with thistle ropes and broken wings, waiting on riverbank to catch final breath. Everything dies, must outlast. We trade, yes. Trade hours. We trade hours now, yes. Good quality merchandise." Okay, well, we don't have any hours to sell him, unfortunately. Perhaps not. How about the tea shop? Some come for the fine teas, others for the carefully prepared manila folders under the counter. All agree that the scones are divine. An oasis of London civility and culture in a town with little of either. Melusine Murgatroyd stands proudly behind the display of fresh scones and slightly yellowing cream buns. At small wooden tables, successful prospectors and their significant others welcome themselves to the world of the nouveau riche with a spot of afternoon tea. Pinky fingers stand proud and erect from bone china cups covertly topped up with moonshine. Speak to Melusine Murgatroyd, or enjoy a lovely cup of tea, or return to the town. Let's speak to Murgatroyd. She single-handedly runs both the family business and the family business. Unless you count the small gaggle of overworked and underpaid maids, which Melusine does not. Smelling faintly of burned hair, she tinkers with the latest invention intended to be her ticket out of both this no-horse town and her father's control. Eyebrows, she confirms, are a small price to pay for scientific progress. We could look over her invention, we could offer to trade intelligence with her, or just leave. Let's look at this invention that she's got. Her workshop has slowly taken over the back room of the salon. Melusine glows with pride as you examine her most untested inventions. The clockwork lens array that offers superhuman levels of telescopic sight, provided you can insert all 6 sharp brass hooks under your eyelids. Ugh. The internal combustion privy, ideal for handling unpleasant waste products and warming whatever's left of your house after the inevitable explosion. An automatic pickaxe, capable of striking Earth 7 times a second. Melusine nods, irritated. Pity about the minor bone-shattering issue. The only thing she won't let you poke at is a twisted arrangement of glassware and electricity in the corner. That's not mine, not entirely. I'm still working on that. Complicated. You know what you know? If you don't, I shouldn't say. Alright. Well, that's nice. If we had some uncanny specimens, we might get a secret. Sure. I don't think there's much else for us here. We could take a cup of tea for 5 sovereigns? Sure. A reminder of proper civilization is a thing to be cherished, especially out here in the Reach. And that just reduced our terror, or our affliction, or whatever it's called these days. I just saw it go down then. I was watching for it deliberately. Melusine's maids hurry around, serving a clientele more used to bellowing at bartenders than sitting politely with exquisitely Melusine's maids hurry around, serving a clientele more used to bellowing at bartenders than sitting politely at exquisitely cut cucumber sandwiches. Eventually, it is your turn to be served. You are invited to choose your preferred brand. Empress Flavour, the taste of home. Eleutherian Gold. It looks like tea with the occasional sparkle. Indulgence Blend, straight from the Blue Kingdom. I think a taste of home is what's wanted here. We have lost 5 terror and 5 sovereigns. Except we didn't. We actually lost the terror earlier. And we lost the 5 sovereigns earlier as well. So it's not quite paired up correctly, but sure. I get the idea. Return to the town, I think. Sweet Jane's Counting House. A little accountancy firm, snuggled in the snowy drifts. Sweet Jane oversees everything herself. The transference of fund, the balancing of probabilities, the transport of commodities, the termination of contracts. She is huddled behind her desk, swaddled in a monstrously ugly red scarf. While she fiddles with her abacus with one gloved hand, she heats the other over a little coal fire. Her one good eye focuses on you. She smiles. Well, she has an offer for us, and or we could just return to the street, or we could give some charred nameplates from other ships that we've destroyed. I guess we could give them here, rather than give them to the stovepipe man. Yeah, we get a choice there. So I think we will explore this in the next episode. These episodes seem to be fairly narrative heavy, but I hope you're enjoying them. There's plenty to explore here. We've got a lot to do in every single port since it's the first time we've been there. I don't just want to click through it. I want to read all of it. I want to see what the story is that's going on. So if you like this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Subscribing, liking, and even just watching the videos does help me with the channel. I really appreciate it. More to come in the next episode. I am Agathis, I am going offline, and I'll see you next time.